we find him in the beginning of the season?
Not a good one. He left season 2 cleansed in a way by Hugo Strange's psychological deconstruction of him, and he went off to find Lee. We start season 3 with him finding her, but as most things in Gotham, it doesn't go well, and so he feels at sea. We move forward in time about 6 months, and he's back in Gotham. And the monsters that were unleashed at the end of season 2 are now running amok. And Gordon is a bounty hunter. Gordon is no longer with the GCPD. He is chasing these monsters down for a price and collecting that money. And he's sort of disillusioned with the whole thing.
Has he completely given up on the law? Is he, as a bounty hunter, is he taking matters in his own hands a little more?
He is, yeah. I mean, he's certainly not a villain. He certainly doesn't inflict pain just to inflict it, but he has a certain morality. But it's far away from where we found him. He's learning a lot of things, and with each lesson he learns, he takes a step forward. But he also, in some ways, falls apart a bit. We will eventually see a Gordon who struggles at times to keep it together because of how rough Gotham is and because of how few allies he really has. And the subtitle of the season, Heroes Will Fall, is indicative of what thematically we're doing in the season with not just Bruce Wayne and the other heroes, but with Gordon himself. He will fall a long way to make himself up again.
What's his relationship like with Bruce this season?
As we start the season, Bruce is really on his own journey, and Gordon is on his own, and their paths will merge later on, and they've sort of reset their relationship a bit. And Gordon doesn't feel as much a responsibility to Bruce to figure out his parents' killer, because it seems to all not have been tied up, but effectively Indian Hill was the breeding ground for a lot of this stuff, and that had a lot to do with what ultimately manifested in Bruce's parents' murder. But the Court of Owls is really behind the whole thing, and that's where we'll get to in season 2 or season 3. That's really the force that's behind everything.
Was it fun being reunited with Morena finally after a long break on the show?
Yeah. Well, we were. Yeah.
Did you
I
see
saw
her?
her occasionally, so it wasn't too bad. It was, yeah, it was, and it's different. And it's different, yeah, and it's wonderful to play that. It's giving us a brand new dynamic to play, which is a lot of fun. And there's a new love interest for me and Valerie Vale. I think I can say that that's a love interest. I don't think it's much of a surprise. And it's professional, and then not. And she has a new man as well. So, we get to have fun with the kind of, love triangle aspect.
Yeah.
Triangles.
Are they going on double dates and
Yeah, exactly.
one up each other?
Hanging out,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Sharing the milkshakes.
Exactly.
Is there any sort of relationship between him and Harvey anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. Harvey's is one, conduit to sanity. Is one person sort of reminding him that Harvey's been in some pretty dark places in his life too. He's pretty happy sometimes to sort of drift in those places, but even he looks at Jim and says, "Hey man, you gotta pull it together." So I think Harvey's kind of always monitoring Jim and always there for him. And they were absolutely, at the end of the day, Harvey's a grounding force for Jim and someone who keeps him from falling over into the abyss.